Hi, I'm Joel Hager, one of the co-founders of Domegaia, and today I'm going to be interviewing Oswaldo in Tulum, Mexico. He is the founder of a resort called Nacum, where they've hosted several workshops in the past. They've built some amazing domes and they finished them exquisitely. And Domegaia is going to be hosting another workshop coming up in November. So I thought this would be a good time to check in with him and learn about what he's doing on the property and get some questions answered. I'm really curious. So quite excited about this interview and enjoy. Cool. Well, yeah, great to meet you. I got to see your property. What was that in like May?
Yeah,
My
somewhere about
my
that.
partner, yeah. Unfortunately, we missed you, but my partner Ella and I, we went around and saw your domes, and it was just beautiful, beautiful place. So I've been
Thanks.
pretty anxious to talk to you and kind of learn more about it. I guess the first thing I just wanted to hear from you is just a little bit of the background and kind of history of what you guys are doing there, because it's looks like you got a lot of neat projects going on besides just the domes.
Naku is born out of like ancestral spiritual inspiration towards sustainability. It's a community project. In the beginning, at least, was that. I had two partners from Toronto as well who got involved with me, and there is a few members of this spiritual community that we have in the like really in North America and South America. We bought all pieces of land. I bought 2 hectares where I am, and
Okay.
other friends bought like 1 hectare, 1 hectare, 1 hectare. Slowly, the whole approach has been like organically has been like transforming into what it is. It's really an idea of bringing together people, bringing together a spiritual comprehension and understanding, and skills, especially. At
Yes.
least me and my family, we know and we have this feeling that things are changing a lot. We were in the jungle when the pandemic happened, and we realized of the importance of self-reliancy and not exclusively just from the basic necessities of electricity, water, and food, but also skills.
Yeah.
Learning from the Mayan elders that we've been doing a great work with that, from planting, learning about their cosmology, especially their materials is something that I've been studying and very interested to know how they build. And the elders that have worked with me, they I talk to them about this and ask them stories about like certain things that their grandparents will do. They know how
Yeah.
to make cement without cement.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually, when I was in Tulum, I toured some Mayan ruins, and that was one of the things, that they
yeah,
showed. This is cement that's, how old? Very old.
yeah. It's like, and one of the guys who works with me, his name is Alejandro, and I work with his family. His whole family has worked with me,
Mm.
from his children to his grandchildren, and they help me building a lot of things and learning a lot from them. And not exclusively just from that, but I can realize how, as well, the simplicity of their living, and it
Yeah.
has put me in a place of like really transforming my idea of what comfort is. And this is what Naku is about. Naku, we brought the name Na from Mayan, means house, and Ku, it means source or energy. So we
Nice.
were trying to be like a house of energy, and an energy of comprehension, an energy of understanding, an energy of skills, an energy of community, of family, especially because I have 2 kids. And so for me, it was very important to actually cover all those aspects. So
Nice.
Naku is actually like a project that if it has not brought people together for a long term, it
Hmm.
brings people in community of short terms.
Yeah.
When we do workshops, when they do ceremonies, when we do retreats, when we do like festivals, it brings the whole idea is that people can gather and people
Yeah.
can actually learn. And yeah, so basically, I don't know if that kind of like
Yeah,
makes.
that's great. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. It was pretty quiet there when I was visiting, but I got the sense that you have a lot of space for people. I'm imagining there's a lot of fun that goes on there at times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the dome building workshops are extremely fun. Like
I
when we're
bet.
40,
Yeah.
40 people there, And
Yeah.
it's like one of the things that I like to accentuate when part of why we are trying to do this project is to also recover some of the ancient or ancestral methods and
Mm.
technologies that they used to
Yeah.
use in the area,
Yeah.
from materials to planting to cultivation, to a space, to understanding how they used to deal with climate, and how they used to do with cooling and all those types of things.
Amazing. Yeah, I noticed that's actually something I wanted to ask you about because I mean, I'm curious in a lot of your buildings and techniques that you're using there, but like I noticed that the inside of the domes were beautifully finished. They were very smooth, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about what materials
Yes.
and kind of techniques you used.
So basically, we're using a finishing plaster that is called chucum.
Okay.
Chucum is a Mayan plaster made out of the bark of the chucum tree. So the
Oh,
bark is
wow.
peeled off of the tree and is cooked like a tea for 2 days. So it gives like this red, basically color. The chucum tree, it comes from the family of the latex trees,
Oh,
the rubber trees. So it has an actually like a little bit of like this white gooey
yeah.
substance that once that you extract it through a hot brewing process, mixed with white cement and fine
Hmm.
sand powder, we
Okay.
make the mix of the plaster of chucum,
Oh,
which it
wow.
also helps to waterproof the walls as well, right? That's
Interesting.
what they use
Okay.
in the pools right now. But anciently, that's what the pyramids were covered with.
Wow, interesting. I didn't know that. So,
Yeah,
and it almost looks like stone, like when you look at it and feel it on
yeah.
the wall. It almost looks like it's beautiful.
Yeah, it,
Anyways,
it, it keeps
yeah,
it really cool.
yeah,
It gives you that sensation. I guess one of the main things that I really fell in love with Chukum is that its simplicity is very fine. It's
mm,
like it's a fine. You don't have to put more than Chukum to actually give you that
right,
luxury feeling to it.
totally.
You know,
Yeah, that's a good word.
um,
Luxury is a good word for
yeah.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
and it's clean. It's the other thing that we very much like about it. So the
hmm,
combination of chukum with the materials of the area, like the stone, which is
yeah,
limestone that we use mainly, with the
right,
finishing, the wood finishings accents that we can give, and the
yeah,
chukum with the curves of a dome just gives you a total different perspective of the
yeah,
material that it can be used with.
yeah. It's really neat. So, how many domes do you have in total that are
We
finished now?
have 3 domes.
Yeah,
We have 3 domes. We're going to build the fourth one in
yeah,
November. Yep.
soon. Yep. Nice.
You know,
And
yeah.
and then you have a few other structures as well. You have those domes. I,
We build the domes. We have the communal palapa, which it was now it's a big communal kitchen that we
yeah.
every dome that we have built, we build it like very differently from the others. Like we've every time
Hmm.
that the good Domegaia team have come is like I propose them to like do them differently for
Yeah.
different purposes. So we have one that it was only 3 arches, and actually that time it was the first time that they were doing a dome with more than one arch, because they were only doing domes with one arch. So
Gotcha.
I asked Gabe and Rafa if we can actually do a 3 arch dome. They agreed. We did the first one. The second one, I asked them if, like, what if we build a 4 arch dome so we can
Yeah.
actually have different spaces inside of a dome. So because we're
Yeah.
using them for housing and rooming. So the second dome is more like a bachelor style dome apartment, with its kitchen, with its shower, bathroom, its bed, and its entrance. Then we built the third dome, which it's a double dome. So we have 2 beds with a washroom and a shower and a beautiful entrance.
Oh.
And now this dome that we're building, we are going to work with what I was proposing to Rafa is like want to work with a different levels, but now instead of going at the same level, I want to start going down so we can actually
Nice.
create a different sensation of spaces
Yeah.
inside of the dome. So
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, if
yeah,
you look at this drawing behind me, It's a three domes that are all on
Oh,
different
that's
levels
awesome.
clustered together. Yeah, it's a neat idea. That's at Hajar's house in Hawaii,
Oh, wow.
that he built there. Yeah.
It's already finished?
Yeah, it's not like 100% finished, but I did stay in it. Like the bedroom's finished the last time I was there. Yeah,
Nice.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then you have the house, which is like a
Yeah.
two story.
Yeah, so we have the house, which is called Casa Quetzal. Casa Quetzal is a large structure. It's high in ceilings. Over there,
Yeah.
we're using a natural way to keep it to maintain a very good level of temperature in the house by having super high ceilings, almost 9 meter
Right.
high.
Right.
Um,
Wow.
it only has one side. It has a loft. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and it has a large kitchen. And that's where usually we house all the food and all the lounging
Nice.
and all the moments where people can actually just like get together. We
Yeah.
also have a ceremonial circle in the back with we have ceremonies. Sometimes we bring people from Brazil, elders and shamans, and we have host retreats of that kind. We have a
Very cool.
temazcal, which is a sweat lodge as well. We
Mm.
recently built a little, kind of like a little pool now outside of the house. Yeah, so
Mm.
we have the wood shop. We have the Aircrete area where we have a
Uh,
designated area for the study of Aircrete. We
nice.
have the designated area for the study of carpentry. We have gardens. We have a greenhouse. We have 37 chickens that gives a lot of eggs every day.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we have different plants of all sort of kinds. Where we have papayas, bananas, pineapples, maracuyas. We have a different variety of plants. So we're also following like a little level of like permaculture with
Hmm.
food forest gardening. So
Mm.
yeah, it's an ongoing project. We get a
Yeah.
lot of people who go to the resorts and then come back here, and something that a lot of people have mentioned is like, it's like you go to the resorts and it's like they just distract you with so many things, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just like a bunch of distractions. Here there's an open bar, here there's like
Hmm.
games and thing and that. And then people go to these types of places that now are just popping up more and more, and they are realizing of like, wow, I have to deal with myself. I
Yeah.
have to deal with mosquito bites. I have to deal with the heat. I have to deal with this. I have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And in all that, really big healing happens.
Yeah.
You know, but
I love that.
at least ourselves, I mean, my wife and I, we appreciate comfort.
Of course.
We live in Canada for a long time. My wife is Canadian, so we try to offer as much of the comforts that most people will want. Very comfortable beds, very comfortable, high quality linens. Good water pressure. Good
Right.
food, good
Yeah.
finishing. So good pillows. So these are the little things that actually have made
Hmm.
people really like to stay with us, because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not in a resort. I don't have all these things, but the little I
Right.
have is of
It's true.
very high quality.
I love
You know,
that. As long as I have a good pillow, I'm like
right?
literally anywhere I go, I'm good. So that's
For
all
me,
I
for me, it's the mattress, man. It's like
yeah.
if a hotel has a terrible mattress, it's like done. I
Yeah.
don't want to go back
Yeah.
at all. You
Yeah.
know, but
Right.
yeah, it,
Yeah.
it, it, it's a work in progress what we're doing in Tulum. We are um, every year we're trying to bring new. For example, we just changed our electrical system. Now we have
Oh,
lithium batteries in half of the electrical system. So we have
nice.
so we're investing in as well
Yeah.
new technologies in a sense to sustain the place.
Yeah.
We're building more soil. Tulum has a problem. We don't have soil.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
rock. So
Right.
for all the gardens, it's been 5 years of working just to make soil with the gardens and the
Yeah.
compost, and so
Mm.
yeah, it's been a lot of work. But yeah,
Amazing. So I'm curious, or I'm thinking that people that are interested in coming to the workshop. I think there's going to be a lot of people interested, just partially because of the location and everything there. But I'm wondering if you could, I don't know, just maybe from your perspective, like just tell people what to expect when they get there. Anything that might be useful for them to know, ahead of time.
For sure. Well, I mean, you're coming to the lower jungle of the Mayan Peninsula. So you're going to find beauty and splendor. And also, you're going to have to be dealing with little certain things like mosquitoes and heat. So come
Hmm.
prepared with your bug repellent, come prepared with a flashlight. You will have all the comforts that you have at home. We have beautiful cenotes. Cenotes are these sinkholes with caverns
Yeah.
around our place. We're gonna take you to a few of them. So we're gonna have
Nice.
like chance to cool down in one of them, which is like walking distance from where we are. You're gonna
Amazing.
have a really good time with all the family. Rafa and I, and Gabe is not coming, but with Rafa, we're really good friends. So we're family with Heather as well, and all the Domegaia team. We have a long history working with you guys. So we already know the jig. We're already
Yeah.
gonna have everything ready for everybody, so you don't have to worry much about anything. We try to simplify every year the process.
Nice.
This year in particular, as the last year, similar kind of, we're gonna have a community building practice after the workshop for the ones who would like to stay and continue studying and practicing. It's going to be a
Amazing.
community-based practice. So we will have 50% off in accommodation and only 100 or $120 food contribution, but everyone will have to
Amazing.
take a shift to make at least one meal during the community building
Yeah.
practice, because it's not only learning how to build domes, but it's learning how to build community. Every
Amazing.
dome
Yeah.
workshop that we've had is always has been a very intimate relationship with everyone, with all the students. We all ended up being really good friends. You're gonna meet incredible
Hmm.
people that are very similar in the very similar mindset that you are. So come and you're gonna have a really good time. So to prepare, just prepare with your working boots. Bring clothing because you're gonna get dirty. You're
Hmm.
gonna get full of cement, but you're
Hmm.
gonna come out with knowledge and
Nice.
skill, and that is something that is worth it to get
Yeah.
dirty for and to invest on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for food, in regards food, you guys don't have to worry about much. We will be providing breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, all with Mexican touch,
Hmm.
everything. So you'll have the chance to eat really good Mexican food.
That's a reason
Uh,
to come just for that.
yeah, yeah. So, and we will have a day off where we'll bring you to either the beach or the cenotes or the lagoon, or we will go somewhere special. We have very interesting attractions around there.
Hmm.
So we usually on the day off we either go to the beach or we go to the lagoon. So bring your swimsuit as well. Of course, it's not all about working.
Yeah.
Um, but enjoying and learning more about where the place that we are working at.
Yeah.
So everyone can also learn how to take advantage of whatever you're planning to eventually in the future build your dome, to learn what materials and what environment you are around, so you can learn from that past to have the
Yeah.
best skills for your study on building.
Yeah. Cool. That's exciting. So, how do people even get there? That might be interesting to know. Like,
Well, everybody can get to the Cancun International Airport. We
yeah,
are an hour and
easy.
40 minutes from there. We will have a shuttle bus, a shuttle van for
Okay.
the ones who want to reserve it. It will be based on a deposit and it will be based on the amount of people that will want it. So if
Right.
there's only two or three, the two or three will have to cover the cost of the van. If there is 7 or 10, then the cost comes down.
Perfect.
A lot of the times people will have to take this in advantage because sometimes it's actually even more worth it to rent a car, in all
Oh,
honesty. There
okay.
are moments that you can get a car for $15 to $20 a day. So
Wow.
sometimes when you make the math, it's even more worth it sometimes to
Sure.
rent
Yeah.
a car and
Yeah.
have the freedom to move yourself around.
Yeah.
But we're 45 minutes from the Cancun International Airport. We're 40 minutes from Playa del Carmen, and we're 15 minutes from downtown Tulum. We're in between Tulum and another little town called Chemuyil. The closest beach we have by driving is around 10 minutes.
Okay.
The closest water sinkhole that we have is like 4 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
so it's very easy to move around the Mayan Riviera. There is internet access in the house. There is Wi-Fi, so you don't have to worry about that. The only thing is you might want to bring an extra battery for recharging your phone because not that we run out of battery at night, but sometimes at night
Sure.
is better that we don't use so much of the battery power from the house,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
just can just charge it or just charge it during the day. As long as there is sun, we won't have problems.
Nice.
Even if there is
Yeah.
no sun, it's not so much of a big deal.
That's
But
cool.
we try
Yeah.
to educate people towards like we depend on our guest to run
It's
things smooth at night.
it's cool. Yeah. I've actually spent a lot of time living off grid.
So you know it's like you're not using the
In
light, you have to turn it off.
it's a neat experience,
Yeah,
to be really that connected to the sun and the power and the natural cycles of the day.
it is
Yeah.
true. It is so true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, most people, and from the 4 or 5 years of experience of running these workshops with Domegaia, everyone is having a good time.
Yeah.
So expect good times.
Cool. Yeah. I'm super excited. I'm excited for people to get to see the finished domes as well. I think that's one thing that's really unique about the opportunity to come to your property is, I mean, obviously we're going to be learning to build with Aircrete, learning the Domegaia systems and techniques, for building the structure of the dome. But to get to, hopefully see some of the domes that you finished, it's a really awesome to see that up front, or, firsthand. And then, so
Thanks.
I'm curious a little bit more about your works. What you mentioned was the community work project after the workshop. That sounds like an incredible opportunity too. Is that sort of open to everybody that comes to the workshop, or is that a
It's
limited?
no, it's open to everyone who's coming to the workshop.
Okay,
It's
wonderful.
simply an open community practice.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to come and practice, but it's more of a time where, okay, now the workshop is finished. Now do you
Hmm.
remember everything? So it gives you a recapitulation, and it's
Yeah.
not a workshop because me who's staying, yes, of course I will be helping a lot, but the whole
Right.
idea is that we just work together with what we learned and
Yeah.
we redo it again. So the more times we do it, the more we can actually memorize it. So by the end
Absolutely. Yeah.
of the community, at the end of the workshop and at the end of the community building practice, you will literally have it in your mind how to do it without even
Yeah.
go back to the manual.
Yeah. And
So
that's so important, and it's something that I think is one of the big benefits of the workshop is because you can read it, you can see it being done, but it's the muscle memory.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
and when you first start, you're slow and clumsy, and then people get really fast and efficient,
Yeah.
and it's incredible to see through that. So, are you going to build a whole separate structure during that time, or are you going to just
No, no,
finish?
no. We
You're
will
going
we
to,
will continue. We will continue.
yeah,
I mean, with the dome building workshop, so far, most of the workshops we have been able to almost finish the structure or
yeah,
just finish the structure.
right,
But we will give you the opportunity, and it's not by a workshop, but by a community practice that you can learn how to install your electrical, how to install
nice,
your plumbing, how
yeah,
to finish the inside walls of the dome with the reinforced cement and the mesh. You can have a
yeah,
better idea of if we're installing the door, because usually sometimes we don't get to install the door.
right,
But
yeah.
so you will
That's
have
great. Yeah.
a better
So it'll,
understanding.
yeah, that's cool. I've stayed after some of the previous workshops, and you do. It's just even those extra few days, you get to do a lot more on the finishing side of things, which is great.
Yeah,
And I've talked to people that's a big plus. So I
it's
think,
it's a big plus. It's a big plus.
yeah,
I mean, at some point, I would like to potentially, even talking to you guys, to actually run a finishing workshop. You know,
absolutely. Yeah. No, we do. We
more than
definitely want to do that. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
more than just like the. because we can actually even get to teach the how to put the finishing plaster.
I
We
would
could
love
actually,
that. I want to
it's
learn
like,
that myself. Yeah.
yeah, so how
Yeah.
to actually throw the finishing plaster and actually have the
Yeah.
finishing coat. But of course, you need hands, you need people, and it's an extra 10 days that we're opening for
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
So everyone is welcome to stay, and of
Yeah.
course, it becomes more intimate, and the bonding is even
Yeah.
deeper with everyone who stays a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like
you
if
know,
you can stay, it sounds like quite the opportunity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's open.
That's cool. Well, I'm
Yeah, man.
super excited about this workshop, and looking forward to coming back and meeting you in person and
Sweet.
everybody else. So,
Yeah, for
thanks a
sure.
lot. Yeah.
No, my pleasure, man.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until next time, thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Joel. I
We'll talk
appreciate
to you
it. Thank you,
soon.
everybody.
Well, that was a really inspiring interview. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any further questions about the workshop, the location, go to www.domegaia.com and click on the workshops. We've got specific information about the lodging, the meal plan, and pretty much everything about attending a workshop. But you can also reach out to us directly if you've got any other questions. So we hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you're in touch. Thanks so much.